we've seen the reads of the route versus 3 deep. Let's look at what happens versus 2 deep, because part of this concept of the 5 wide attack offense is the fact that you do not have to change your routes based on the coverage of the defense. You can simply keep your routes intact. Your receivers, your players know exactly what to run, and you can run them against anything. What generally happens is if you're throwing this hitch into the boundary a lot, which is a fairly simple throw to complete and a high percentage throw, then they may go to a 2 deep rotation and take and sit the corner right in that hitch area. When that happens, the will linebacker usually moves in a little bit to his run area, and the free safety moves over to take the field side, the boundary side, excuse me. So he's over here on the boundary side. So now they have 3 on 2, or in essence 2 on 3 into the boundary. So 2 deep allows them to play 2 on 3 into the boundary. Okay? The next thing that happens over here on the field side is we've been throwing the slant into these windows, and they rotate the corner down to play 2 deep and set him inside there, and then he kind of plays a hard corner, or he tries to reroute that slant route a little bit. The strong safety goes and becomes the deep defender over top of the slot. He's in a little bit better position to play the corner route when that guy runs right at him. Although I think that when you run at a 2 deep corner and they have that 2-way go, it's a difficult play for this 2 deep safety. But anyway, that strong safety is now in a little bit deeper position to play that corner route, and the same linebacker ends up staying the same. So let's see what's just happened to our reads in this area. Well, our boundary read now tells us that the hitch by alignment is going to be taken away, that this corner will stay in that area because that's his area. So pre-snap read tells us that we're going to throw the A route, and that this will now be into the boundary versus 2 deep. This will be our first throw, and the hitch would be our second throw, although we generally know we wouldn't throw that because the corner will sit in that area. Okay? The free safety has a little bit has a shorter distance to get there, so when we do this, the quarterback would stare at the free safety, hold him, use his feet rhythm, turn, and throw the corner out, because we know he's the only guy that's going to get there. Rarely would you ever see this will linebacker who starts to wall him turn and run with the corner out and play underneath that. Rarely would you see that happen because he has run responsibility. When they go 2 deep, they usually free this will linebacker up. Also, we know from past experience, when they go 2 deep, instead of playing 2 on 3, they'll still play 2 on 2, and now they'll try to use this will linebacker to get involved into the blitz game, the boundary blitz game. So that's one sign that tells us when the defense would blitz, is they get to 2 deep, that allows them the extra player here in order to get into the pass rush to the boundary. That's something we've seen all the time. Over to the field side, what's happened now is, in essence, by going 2 deep, they put their free safety in a bind because he can't cover both those routes. Our B route, which was designed to run down the middle of the field and hold the free safety, now gives them a wide open area to work in. So in 2 deep, you like to throw the middle of the field route, we don't have to change our pass route or our pattern. We have that middle of the field taken care of. So if they go to 2 deep to stop our boundary throws or to stop our corner slant throw to the field, they've just given up the middle of the field. So now what we've done is make them make a decision while we're still executing at a high proficiency level. The alternative to play some type of Tampa 2, where the Mike linebacker could run up into that area, or sometimes they may even send the same linebacker up with him. Okay? But that's the only alternative that they have to do that. Over here on our first read to the field, we're looking at the slant route and we're looking in these windows, and you'll see now that by pre-snap alignment there is nobody in the first window. That strong safety has removed himself to play the corner route in a 2 deep position. The only alternative they have when they do this is if the corner reroutes is to try to run with him. That's a difficult thing to do. It's a long way to run. And if you've taught your players to plant and burst out of the break, then usually that corner will never have an opportunity to play trail technique on that route. And we found that our receivers separate because it's too far to run. He's really leaving his area. The other thing he does is if he runs is he leaves this underneath area for the throw to the corner route wide open. And that's not as difficult to throw for the quarterback. It's a longer throw, but he can throw a little bit more of a high arcing pass to make that complete. So if the corner leaves his underneath area to follow the slant, then this area has become wide open for the throw to the Z running the corner route. So the slant window by pre-snap alignment is wide open. Depending on what the Sam linebacker does, if he still goes and walls that B, which he usually does, you've just now opened this whole area underneath to work the slant route. So you'll see that we still can maintain a high level of execution. We're running our plays. The design of the 5-wide attack is we don't give our plays up, and it really doesn't matter what the coverage is. So that's the one route in the 5-wide attack versus 2 deep coverage.